Well, welcome to my therapy session. Welcome to my hood. And this is what I do in the off season almost every day. I live in Northeast and it gets cold, winter, really snowy and stuff like that. So sauna is my vibe. Sauna is my therapy session. That's what I just get relaxed and recharged. And that's the most natural, best thing I can experience. I just love it. Anyways, it's not as cold outside. It's pretty warm. It's summertime. We're in the middle of the season, and it's time to catch up and talk about our season. How is it going? As you guys know, we're doing double duty, running a pro and prospect, and this is after Atlanta. We're recording this right before going to Orlando, so I already had experience running two classes where before people would approach me and was like, how you doing this, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm about to do first round in Atlanta, then I'll know how am I doing this. But until then, everything was just new to me. And even right now, still not fully set in that I'm running with the pros. I'm one of the pros, and I don't know, it's probably gonna take a few more rounds. Hopefully performance wise it's gonna get better, and it's gonna feel like we're running pro. At this point, it's still with the seating bracket where I mostly battle prospect guys, rookie guys that just came into the series as well. You know, it feels like almost at prospect level, not fully pro, but it's just how it feels inside. But obviously, we're running a full pro program and running with the pro guys. Let's start with Long Beach. Going to Long Beach, I really didn't even know what's gonna happen, how we're gonna run it, whether we're gonna run it or not. I didn't have the deals made that I wanted to make before the season. And before the season started, we had some good conversations with few companies, and we just ran out of time. Basically, we didn't have all the details worked out, so nothing came through as we wanted, as big as it should. And we just went in on our own and worked out the deal with Michael Essa, got the car, and went into Long Beach without any practice, without never driving that car, never driving on Vitor tires, never driving Long Beach. Basically, just put a fresh body kit on the car. We wrapped the car one day before Long Beach. We're still finishing stuff up as I went for a tech on Tuesday, and then showed up on Thursday, set up, and Friday started practicing. First lap, it was like super nervous, super new, but I just went for like mediocre, safe lap just to complete the track and link all the corners, which I did that and felt decent. Second lap, I did a little bit more familiar with the corners. Actually, I was chasing, so that gave me a little bit confident going after someone that already ran that track. I think it was Simon Olsen, if I'm not mistaken, and actually he was the first one to chase me as I'm leaving chicane on that first lap. He's like, what? Right next to me, like almost passing, like, dude, chill out, this is my first lap. Let me at least, get acclimated here. So anyways, I completed the lap, felt better, like, whew, yeah, didn't crash, it's not as bad as it looks, as, you would think. And anyways, on my third lead lap, I was feeling super comfortable and just basically touching the walls, feeling the zone. I might missed one or, zone, I think, had a little correction on my third lap. After that, a few more lead laps were super dial, just ping pong off every zone and, having really, really good runs. Chase wise, I had a couple issues on the first turn. I would like either choke myself up, or if I give them a little too much room, then I'm playing catch up. And I didn't have a really good chases in the practice. So going into seating bracket battles, obviously we had Connor Shanahan, one of the best driver out of Europe, who's a defending champion in Drift Masters. Super good driver, huge program sponsored by Red Bull, and came in and he was looking super good in practice. He had a little extra practice driving media day as well, so I knew it's going to be a tough battle. And yeah, we lined up against him, and I don't know, I wasn't fully like realizing that I'm doing pro. Maybe that's why I ran a little bit better. I had no stress, no worries, just kind of just did what I supposed to. So in my chase, because he led first in my chase, I did really good chase, probably one of the best out of my whole practice sessions and battles. Gave everything I should, I could, and stayed in the pocket, filled all the zones behind him. There was a little bubble on the initiation. I think that's about it. Everywhere else, I was following him. He had a super solid lead, and then I got in the lead, and same thing, run up, initiated, touch the wall, basically touch the wall, staying outside the three, super nice and deep, without any like major corrections or too deep where my body panels folds and stuff like that. Just right. And obviously he was right there with me, like wheel to wheel in the pocket, and as close as you can get, his type of style of chase. So, and then across the finish line, I was a little too excited and went a little wide. I tapped the wall. That was one kind of big mistake on my end, and I bounced off the wall, hit his front wheel. I don't know if that was even a factor in the decision, but it just the way he was super close on me, like wheel to wheel, that like wow effect got him the win. But anyways, that was still very exciting battle. I'm not like mad about it. I went against the best driver, and we didn't crash, we didn't zero out. It was really good fight. Connor even complimented. He's like, I drive against the best drivers in the world, and you actually made me worry. You made me work for it. It was really tough battle for me. I'm like, well, thank you for compliment, and I felt good driving with you as well. So I knew he's gonna just run straight forward, no games, and it was good. Anyways, I was experiencing Long Beach, and then going to Atlanta, we again in the seating bracket. We had to battle Derek Madison, who had some issues coming back from Long Beach. His rig broke, his car was a little bit messed up, he didn't have enough time to prepare. And obviously, it sucks because I know the pain, and when you don't have a lot of, mandatory support and everything's like going against you, it's hard. But anyways, we had a good battle. Not the best from both of us, but I might have made less mistakes, and I advanced, and I was in the main show. In the main show, we had to battle Cody, and in my chase, I was chasing first. I knew I had to give it all, and I did. Initiated on throttle, transition on throttle, up the hill. I stayed with him. Filled outside zone 2, and then approaching inside clip 1 or 2, whatever that is in the keyhole inside clip. I felt like I stayed with him, and all of a sudden I just boom, ran into him at full lock, and I spun out. I felt like, man, he stopped a little too fast in front of me all of a sudden, but also I thought maybe I was too aggressive. So going back to the start line, thinking, all right, I blew my chase. I just gotta, give a good lead and basically at least, show good showing and good sport, good driving. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4 full speed through almost backy, reverse entries, got in the rumble strip, and both of my tires debeated, which was very surprisingly to me because we also had a similar one problem in practice where same thing, my tires debeated in the same spot, and we didn't even run that low pressure. We went a couple PSIs up for the battles because we didn't want any debeat, but we still debeated, which was, like I said, very surprisingly. I didn't know why it happened. Went in a QT leader and basically zero out. Came back in the pits, and one of my guys said, well, the guys who mounted your tires, they use some tire loop to have it seated easier, pop up the air and just mount the tires. And I'm like, I was very frustrated because for motorsports and drifting, maximum you can use like soap and water that dries out and doesn't leave any residue or any lubrication on it. Because even without any lubrication, a lot of guys, and we are running such a low tire pressure that we struggle to keep the tires on the wheel. And with anything that makes it more slippery, just asking for trouble, recipe for disaster. That's exactly what happened. Nothing much on them. Those guys didn't know. They were new. They were asked to help out this round. And like I said, I didn't know anything about it. Only after the fact I found out, I let them know that in the future you guys can't use any of that, which they totally understood, accepted. It is what it is. Every round is we learn something. Also, Atlanta was a double duty, double header. We ran in Prospect. In top 32, our opponent blew his turbo in practice, so we had a bye run. I had a super good lap, a lot of smoke, a lot of throttle, committed everywhere, hit every zone, and just had a good lead. Even though I'm still, by the way, I'm running two different cars, even though they're both BMWs, looks the same, but they're very different transmission, different brakes, different clutch pedals, because Pro is like unlimited class. You can run what you brought. In Pro Spec, it's a spec class where you have to follow certain rules, like steering column has to be stock, clutch pedal and brake pedal has to be all factory, minimum weight, everybody's on the same tire, limited 255s weight, like I said. So there's a lot of differences. H-pattern transmission versus Pro car has sequential, easier to drive. And that's a new build that we did last year. Michael Essa built me this car, and we did it last minute. We didn't have enough time to like dial it in, which we did throughout the season. Last year we had a podium, we had a decent season overall. Yeah, but I'm still not feeling 100% like confident in that car as I used to feel in my championship car, or even as I feel in the new car that I got from Michael Essa Pro car. Going against pro drivers, best drivers in the world, I feel more confident driving that car than this. Partially is because the clutch pedal is acting completely different than what I'm used to or what the Pro car is. In the Pro car, we have aftermarket master cylinder where you press the clutch, and basically it's a bigger size, moving more fluid, and the clutch disengages and does the job way sooner than my Pro Spec car. Master cylinder is much smaller, and we run aftermarket clutch itself, which is heavier pressure plate and twin disc for high horsepower engines, clutches, and it needs way more force and pressure to disengage that. So I really have to push the pedal all the way to the floor in order to move enough fluid to disengage my clutch. All my muscle memories are kind of set where I don't have to think about my footwork or my hand. If I'm running lead or chase, whatever, if I'm doing a run in FD and I have to think about my e-brake, or if I have to think about what my foot are doing, that's not a good run. Like everything is like so automatic, everything is doing its own job as you run in the run, that you only just looking at the clipping point or the car in front of you, and you have to adapt to that. Your hands and your feet already know what to do. So that's why my feet is used to certain amount of movement in the clutch pedal that already doing the job what I'm trying to do, like either a traction control, slip my clutch kick to bring up the RPMs if the car is a little bit buggy, or like dig out of initiation, a big angle, slow down to get some speed. All those factors, I learned how to drag my clutch a lot. Like I rely on clutch kicks and slipping my clutch a lot. So with that being said, I'm not used to the clutch pedal to hit all the way to the stop in order to disengage and get my RPMs up and start like slipping my clutch or basically getting traction. So that's the biggest thing. Like I don't feel very confident in that car driving it, and that puts me at some disadvantage. What I used to run in Pro Spec with such a confidence that I really didn't have to think about car placement. I would every time would hit a zone, fluid, nice lead runs. In the chase, I would have to do my best to adapt to what's in front of me. And right now it's like 50-50. I lost confidence in Pro Spec, to be honest. So apparently I can upgrade my master cylinder itself, which I do have a little bit bigger. Hopefully we can do it before New Jersey and get a better response out of my clutch pedal so I can drive better. So that's the plan, going to New Jersey. But then before New Jersey, we have Atlanta. My bad. We have Orlando. I do love that track. People say it's boring. It's only one transition, 2 zones. I love tracks with walls, and this one and Irvindale, like one of my favorite tracks that I can, hit the bank, drag my bumper all the way around on the outside zone 1, come off the bank, transition on throttle, set angle, hit another zone, and just ride it, with a lot of smoke, a lot of throttle, a lot of angle. I know, for me, I love those tracks. So going to Orlando, I feel really positive. By the way, we have a bye run in top 16 of the seeding bracket, which automatically puts us in main show. It's only a matter of how far will I get in the seeding bracket will determine who am I going against in top 32, whether I'm gonna go against Frederick Asbo or if I'm going against Brad Band, let's say, or Odi Bachis or Forrest Way, one of those guys. So we will do our best. Obviously, the further we go, I can't say easier opponent because everybody's a killer. Everybody's driving so hard in anybody's game, you know. But it's still, there's guys who's more dominant than the others. But anybody in top 8, top 10, top 16 is, crazy, amazing driver. So just to get out of top 32 is hard enough. So no matter who you're going against, you're gonna have to put up your A game to win. So yeah, we're running to win. This year we don't have basically almost any monetary support. We're running out of pocket. We're running on grace, on God's grace, on blessings, and it's been miracle after miracle how we afford every round. And a lot of friends, family, and support showing up. Obviously, we have a lot of product support like tires from Vitor Tires. Vitor Tires, I love it. Performs very well. A big, huge support. Link CEO is a big support for my prospect program. IC Suspension supporting me as best as they can. So obviously, a lot of suspension parts from WiseFab. Clutch Masters giving me clutches so we can keep driving and keep using our clutch and stuff like that. I'm really expecting some better results going to Orlando. No matter what, we're trying to enjoy every time we are at the track. This is the dream. This is what we always wanted to do. And even if it's not very successful result-wise, I still try to remember and remind the Whitehall crew, let's just enjoy this. We're at the track. We're part of the show. We're one of the teams, not so many teams. Everybody wants to be, or at least most of the people that compete all over the world, they want to be in Formula Drift, and we're one of the teams. So why not enjoy it and just have fun, because it's stressful. A lot of times you forget to have fun and you focus on certain things and they don't come as you want, and it's just more frustration. So honestly, I learned to enjoy every moment, every step of the way, and don't sweat it like I do right now. That's what I have signed up for, to sweat it right here and not on track. On track, we're just gonna have fun and just gonna enjoy it and do our best. Come on in. Who's next? Oh, Walters. What's up? Cheers.
I asked him if you brought water. There's no water, so I brought beer.
Whatever floats you up. How's your season going? Tell me.
It's all right.
Is it?
Usual.
As usual. Working.
A bit slower than last year, though.
I see. For me, it's a little bit busier.
No.
But money-wise, it's slower. Yeah. Yeah, on top of, it's actually triple from what I used to run, because if I ran Prospec only 4 rounds, now I'm doing 12 rounds.
Yeah.
8 of Pro and 4 Prospec. So, yeah, by the way, in Prospec, still talking to the camera if you don't mind, say hello. In Prospec, I had a good buy run in my top 32. In top 16, we lost. I had a good lead and good chase. My chase was closer than my opponent. Chase, no, don't go straight. And then I don't remember what it was. I think inside clip on the keyhole, I went a little bit wider. And then in my chase, I did got lost in the smoke coming out of the keyhole, even though I cut up to him towards the end of the zone to the track. I cut up to him, I was back in the pocket, where he kind of fell back and never cut up to me. I don't know, judges side differently. My spotter thought it's going to be one more time or we won. The other team said they thought they lost it. They were hoping for one more time. So one judge gave it to me. The other 2 judges went against me. And, it's a judge sport. It's basically coming down to what judges like, what they see because they also have their own style. They have their own expectations. And we both, me and Walter, can watch somebody's run and I can like it and he can say, I hated it. That wasn't a good run. So those are people. There's not like a robot standards, that proximity sensors that captures your run. It's people that have their own likings. It might take a few rounds to figure it out what judges like and basically deliver. Yeah, to deliver what they want. It doesn't matter like whether we like it or we don't like the calls. It's in a matter of figuring out what they like, because that's what it's gonna come down to. And that's what I'm trying to learn. That's what I'm trying to figure it out. I'm actually watching other battles. I'm paying attention to which direction they voted, and I'm trying to analyze why they voted for that guy. Okay, this is what they like, this is what they value, and trying to apply it into my driving. Because also, you don't have to be biased. Like I said, it all comes down to preference and your liking. And we're all people, we all make mistakes, we all see different ways, and sometimes you can see only what you want to see. So that's the sport we signed up for. This is the show. This is, partially show, partially competition. For us, it's a competition. Everybody else, judges and spectators, it's a show. So we'll have to put on the show, and the results will be whatever they will be. Obviously, if you drive perfectly, don't make any mistakes, then results is going to be in your favor. If we do mistakes and leave it in the judges' hands, you can't guarantee it's going to be, you're just going to sit there and sweat like we do it in the sauna.
Definitely changed from last year, where they wanted more people to follow on the line, be in the line of smoke and mimic the angle.
Yeah.
And didn't care really about the distance, where this year they don't really care about that. They just want proximity.
They want more of a show. They definitely, I feel like, switched the focus towards the show of the whole thing, because even incompletes, spin outs or straighteners, which, if we're going towards the show side of this drifting, I'm okay with that. I see where it's going. I still would like to have a little bit more stricter rules on those mistakes.
Yeah.
But like they say, they do weight them heavily. If you made them, even though if it's not called incomplete, you're most likely still gonna lose if the other guy didn't do those crazy mistakes. But yeah, it's part of the show, and I feel like maybe towards the middle of the season, a lot of guys will figure it out, what the judges want, what the whole series is about, and just start putting more on the show.
And it's definitely more show, because the average viewer might not tell a difference whether the chase run is on the line or he's short or narrow or no angle. He's like, oh, as long as he's kicking the tire in the door, that's like more important than actual technically being on the same line, same angle.
Yeah.
Like like Chelsea, I think, like the Orlando, like he almost mimicked the angle and line perfectly and was on the door.
With James Dean?
Yeah.
I would say we just watched it recently, so I would say James Dean mimicked his angle better than Chelsea.
Yeah.
But he was as further in it. Not way, he was a car length behind.
Yeah.
At times he would get close. At times he would fall back a little bit, where Chelsea did not fall back at all. He was always with him, and half the time he would match the ankle, half the time he was shallow ankle just to stay there, but he was in the pocket. So obviously he made that.
He was on the line. So last year they really paid attention to the line, or this year, like I'm not going to name people, but if they are half car forward inside line and they still win it makes no sense.
You have to sometimes forget about what we know and maybe look at from the show perspective and kind of analyze it. Was it exciting? Was it, are the fans rather see this than, you're in the pocket, but you're almost not there and like fall back? I don't know. I agree that cutting the line and being like almost in front of the lead car is ugly and not professional, not drifting.
Yeah, it's
not
even exciting, but
not what we've been taught for the 20 years.
Average viewer can't tell a difference. He's like, as long as the cars are close.
Yeah. But like I said, I think few more rounds and a lot of things will balance it out. We either gonna shift back to what it used to be, or
everybody's gonna be driving,
or it's gonna get so wild that like let's just put on the show and whoever put on the best show, moves on.
There's gonna be overtakes. Is somebody gonna be so shallow line that
but if you overtaking on the outside zone, then it's on you. You lost. You're gonna have to shut it down. But if it's an inside clip and somebody opened the door, opportunity for that went too wide, then go for it. It's a guarantee win, at least for that portion of the run. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm just I have no pressure because I'm running for myself, for my team, for my family, for my friends. That's where my support comes from. And I don't have any pressure from sponsors, big sponsors, even though I don't mind. I'd rather have a pressure and good sponsors than what I have now, or at least that's what I think, because I don't have that. But I believe it's going to change. I think we are going in the right direction. We are making some good representation of our team, of who we are. Never settle. We have 2 cars, good livery, good program, and trying to keep it clean, professional. And I look at it as investment, and hopefully it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off no matter what, sooner or later. Can't wait for more seat time with my boys, with Jacob, the real son of a drifter. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, go look it up. The real son of a drifter, and he is one of those son of a drifter. Yeah, he been driving a 330 Ci stock car. He started driving the S14 LS swap that we just finished up. He likes it much better. Obviously, it has more power, but the next step is to put him in a prospect car, and I'm driving pro car, and go hit like English Town and get some real good tandems in. Put him in the smoke him out, get him comfortable, and not to get panic, because I think those are moments that you have to live through, you have to experience. I remember my first times when I was getting smoked out. Man, it's a panic mode instantly. As soon as you get in a smoke, doesn't matter. You're on the line, not on the line. You just want to shut it down. It's like brain freeze. Where right now, I'm also almost chasing those moments when I'm gonna get blinded with smoke and just drive through it. It's like so exciting. I don't know. Oh, I was a Hyperfest. Yeah, I just came from Hyperfest, and there were so many runs where I would chase somebody and just kind of go a little bit wider, get into their smoke coming down the hill, like one of the fastest part of the truck, and sketchy ones, and just fully smoked out, and you're just what, keeping that throttle, and like I think that's where we start pulling the e-brake for getting ready for the transition. And man, and you like start poking out of the smoke, and you're like right there, inches away from the lead car. It's like so exciting, the transition up the hill, little S's, and your whole car is filled up with the smoke, and you're like, the passenger is like, I gotta look for someone.
When you went out with Dustin, and right in front of you was driving Brandon McDowell.
Oh yeah,
it was just like white. Everything's white.
Yeah, that was a wild one. I'm like, I wanted to like slow down before we hit those the front stretch, but the flow of the truck just kept going, so like we just sent it. But he definitely smoked it out. A couple times we ran all the fun scrubs from competition. We also ran a couple of 300 treadwear, like less grippy tires from Vitor, provided by Vitor for this event. So not as creepy setup, not crazy low tire pressure. Running down 2 cords, getting as many laps as possible. There was a few times when I'm trying to go like maximum angle facing the crowd, throwing transitioning the other way, going downhill, and go 4 wheels off in the grass. You catch that one moment, right? Just pedal through, hop back on track, and through the S's. Anyways, a lot of fun. Hyperfest definitely gave me some good vibes. Got me more comfortable in the car, a little bit of seat time, and yeah. Scary track, but like I said, at this point, I'm really chasing those moments of excitement, of a little bit of fear, because the comfort runs or like clean runs, being out in the front, it's cool. You want to put up a good show and show them that you can drive. But for myself, the excitement and to feel some adrenaline is definitely the chases, and it's definitely getting smoked out and guess those transitions. One of my big things that I started doing is like taking risk at the transitions on throttle, or like risking to lose my front bumper or tap the rear bumpers, and it's paying off. It's so cool. Like every time you poke through the smoke and you're like, on that rear quarter and start like closing in the gap is like the best feeling. And same thing, it took me, a couple of years realizing that I was losing some distance on the transitions because I would like lift or e-brake, and then I started playing catch-ups. And some other guys, I can see like their transition is like just poke right through the smoke, back in the pocket. And I'm like, man, that's where it's at. And I started doing this. The first couple of times it was like so sketchy, risky, and like the adrenaline's through the roof. But like once it paid off a few times, like, oh man, it seems like you're in the pocket, like just a little lift and just going back for the transition somehow magically. You think you're supposed to tap him, but you don't. You just
if the lead car's on throttle, that's exactly what you do. But if the lead car decides to check up to find some balance of the car, then you're done.
True that. Hopefully we wouldn't get caught in any of that, or if we do, then it's going to be put on the lead car. But I'm going to continue.
You got to have a spotter who makes sure.
Yeah. Well, my spotter, Dima Sireda, he been my spotter from 2018. Same guy, consistency from my Pro-Am days, a really good friend, a car guy. I was always hot-headed and he was more of a calm guy, so it was a perfect balance for me to temper me down. Like he would feel instantly if I'm after a bad run, if I'm like just a few words, and he knows exactly what to say, what to ask to like switch my focus from being like aggressive and frustrated to something more positive. I was like, hey, that area, that portion of the track was sick, that transition was good. That first zone you hit was so good. Yeah, there was a little bobble mistake, that's fine, but how did you feel? What exactly happened? He'll kind of steer me out of the anger or like a bad mood back into like a positive thing. And that's huge for me. And the first couple of years, man, I don't know. God bless him for keeping up with me, but definitely right now I'm way more composed and controlling myself, realizing that being frustrated doesn't really help. Maybe if it was like a reality show and put on some emotions for the highlights. But right now, to be professional and for better results, for better of the whole team, it's definitely better to just keep calm, enjoy, and learn from my mistakes. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this session, my therapy session, and maybe if you like it, because I definitely do. This is my what do you call this? Happy place. This is my happy place, man. I'm gonna keep doing this no matter if there's a camera in the window or not. I'm gonna keep recharging here, and if we gotta do more recaps like this, if you guys like it, thumbs up, say something, and we're gonna continue this conversation going. Maybe a little podcast style with Walters.
The Saunacast.
The Saunacast, yeah. So, yeah. And if you guys are local, want to experience what it is, hit me up. Come over. We'll get you spanked and worked up. Walters, you were supposed to do the venue, but you didn't. Yeah, it's still not very hot, but once you start doing this, moving hot air, it gets really, really exciting, really good. Peace out.